All right, here we go. Hey everybody, welcome to Financial Literacy. Going over the Unit 2 income review packet for you for this video key. So let me know if you have questions after I go through it. So um, basically we're just doing a mashup of kind of everything we've learned in this unit. One of the first things we talked about in terms of pay is you need to know kind of how many times a year or how often you're getting paid. Everybody wants to know that. First things first, we know there are 52 weeks in a year. People have argued with me. There's 51, there's 53, there's 57, whatever. It is 52. Um, so if you don't believe me, take the number of days and divide it by 7 in a year. And it comes up to just a hair over 52, but we have leap years and stuff. Okay, so biweekly pay periods in a year. Biweekly, there's a big difference between biweekly and semi-monthly. Let's do semi-monthly first, actually. We know there are 12 months in the year, right? So you're getting paid 2 times per month. That's what semi-monthly means. Biweekly, I know it's really misleading, but it's every other week you're getting paid. So every other week is the way I think about it. So if I got paid this week, then 2 weeks from now is when I'm going to get my next paycheck. For this one, since it's 2 times per month, there's 12 months in a year. So 12 times 2 is merely 24 payments. Biweekly is a little bit different. Since it's every other week, this is where the weeks in the year come into play. There's 52 of them, but I'm getting paid every other week or every 2 weeks. So that means we're going to divide that by 2. And that's how many payments you're going to have, which is 26. And then monthly pay periods in the year, this should be a slam dunk, I hope. There are 12 months in the year, so you get 12 checks. Okay, so let's talk about Jill, because we're going to use this for number 1 and number 2. She makes $9.25 an hour. She worked 33 hours last week. How much was her total pay for the last week? Most of you guys are doing this, which is great, but keep identifying, circling, right, circling the numbers because it's a math question, and then we underline the actual question. So that's how you're going to slay these word problems. So to find this, all I want to know is what's your total pay. So as you recall, total pay is equal to your hourly rate that you're getting paid times the number of hours you're working. Right? And the order doesn't matter here. Hours times rate, rate times hour. It's all going to come up to the same. So it's going to be $9.25 per hour times we did 33 hours. And if you throw that in the calculator, it's going to be pretty much $300, right? 305.25. And that's it. Don't overthink it. There's no overtime, right? Okay, so now for number 2, let's talk about overtime. If she works more than 40 hours a week, she's paid time and a half. And I try to give you the number here. So it's 1.5 times her hourly rate. Over 40 hours, so just clarifying that. If Jill works 46 hours, how much was her total pay? So it's a little bit different. So what you're going to need to do is we're going to need to take the 46 total, and I'm going to go ahead and split it out into the 40 hours of regular pay, right? And then we're going to do 6 hours, right? Anything beyond the 40 hours is overtime. And then I'm going to calculate my payment that way. So for regular pay, it's going to be the same formula as up here, where it's going to be the rate, which is she's still making $9.25 an hour times 40 hours. And when you do that, it's going to be 370. Oh, it is 370. Perfect. And then when you do the overtime, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. We're going to take that same rate times the 6 hours she worked times 1.5. So they're basically paying you 1.5 times your normal hourly rate, or 150%. That's going to come out to be a whopping $83.25. Oops, I can't write. So it's 83 and 25. So $83.25. Then my last thing I'm going to do is if you add up those two numbers, that'll give you the total paycheck, at least gross, which is going to be $453.25. Notice that I am showing my work so that if I make any mistakes, it's easy to backtrack and identify them. You will do the same. All right, number 3. Let's talk about Amy. Okay, she's working at Macy's. We got an hourly wage of $9.75 an hour. She is paid time and a half, okay, for all hours over 8 per day. So essentially in this company, if you work 10 hours, then those extra 2 hours beyond the 8 hours is overtime. there's going to be numbers thrown at you. We got 11 hours on Monday, 7 on Tuesday, 6 on Wednesday, 12 on Thursday, 4 on Friday. Gets a little bit tricky because, and I try to make it a little bit harder, I took away any tables here. Okay, so what I would recommend you to do is you put down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just like that. And under each of them, let's go ahead and write those hours. So the less I can look at the word problem, the better. So she worked 11 hours on Monday, 7 hours on Tuesday, 6 hours on Wednesday, 12 on Thursday, and 4 on Friday. I'm going to pay attention to which one of these she's actually working more than 8 hours a day. All right, so let's just go ahead and circle them. So obviously Monday she worked overtime. Tuesday, Wednesday she worked less than 8 hours. Thursday she worked overtime, right? Because it's over 8 hours. Friday she worked only 4 hours. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this down further because I know we do 8 hours of regular pay. And guess what? The excess for 3 hours and for Monday is going to be the overtime. Right? Same thing here. 8 hours is full-time or regular pay. The excess 4 hours is going to be the overtime pay. So now what I'm going to do for how many hours of regular pay she'll receive is just simply add the 8, the 7, the 6, the 8, and the 4. So 8 plus 7 plus 6 plus 8 plus 4. And that's going to give me 15, 21, 29, 33 hours of regular pay. How many hours overtime? Well, that's pretty simple because I already have it broken down. And last I checked, 3 plus 4 is going to be 7 hours. So that's easy. What was her total pay for the week? So now we're going to do the same thing we did in number 2, which is go ahead and take her for regular, take her hourly rate times the number of hours she worked, which is 33. So, right, you already did all the hard work. And that's going to be $321.75. Her overtime pay is going to be the hourly rate times the number of hours she worked overtime, which is 7, right, times that 1.5. And if you punch that in the calculator, that's going to be $102. And I'm going to show you all the decimals. I get a 375. Just a reminder on rounding, right? In America, we pay, when US dollars, you pay penny down to the penny, not fractions of a penny. You can't do that. So I noticed that this 5 is, if it's 5 or greater, this number next to it is going to round up. Right? So 7 is going to round up to 8. So my final answer, at least for this, is 102.38. And then once I add 321, $321.75 plus that 102.38, that's going to give me $424.13. And there we have it. So I'm going to book that. All right, lots of problems here. So let's keep going. This case, Jennifer's offered a job as a nanny for a salary of $1,500 a month. There's the number. How much a year will she make? So basically, what you're trying to figure out is what's her total pay here. In this case, right, we're going to take the $1,500 per month. And how many months in a year? There's 12 months. So just multiply by 12. And 1,500 times the 12 should be $18,000. Easy peasy. Now we get Jennifer that's offered a job with another family who will pay her $20,500 per year. She'll be paid weekly. What is her gross pay? So gross pay just means before taxes, just FYI. Right, we haven't learned about taxes yet, so that'll be the next unit, but we're just going with this for now. So I need to know, though, each week, how much is she getting paid, right? Because she's getting paid weekly, so how much is she earning? So all we got to do is to find her weekly pay. We're going to work backwards here. We're going to start with what she made in a year and then divide it by the number of weeks in a year. And that's going to give me $394.23. And that's that. All right, so for the next problem, let's talk about Fred. He's getting paid this amount bi-weekly, so it's every other week. How much per year is this equal to? So all we need to do is I realize that for bi-weekly, right, we get 26 payments in a year. If you get 26 payments per year, all I got to do is take that total to find the total. We're just going to get the 1,725 times the 26 payments, and that's it. And that will come out to be 44,850. So again, the tricky part is just understanding that biweekly means there's 26 payments in a year. Why is that? Because there's every other week, there's 52 weeks in a year. Divide that by 2 and you got it. Okay, so for this one, Sarah must choose between 2 positions. First job pays $10.25 an hour. You work 40 hours a week, no overtime, which is helpful. Second job pays the salary of $21,600 per year. Which job pays more? So we got 2 ways to go about this. I have an hourly wage and I have number of hours a week that I'm working with no overtime. And then this tells me there's a year, right? So let's do job 1. And I'm just going to go ahead and convert everything to a year, right? So it's easy to compare. So job 2. Because job 2 I know is $21,600 per year. Job 1, I get $10.25 an hour. And let's go ahead and multiply that by 40 hours in a week, right? And this is going to give me something, 410 bucks, right? That's per week now. And I remember earlier I said there's 52 weeks in a year. So if you do that math real quick, that means we're going to get 21,320 bucks per year. So which job do you want? Unless you like less money, right? Job 2 would be it. So just say job 2 is going to pay more. How much more per year? Well, to find that difference, you just take 21,600, right? Minus the 21,320. And that's going to give me, what is that, 80? So 280 bucks. And then how much does this job pay per hour? You're going to take that salary and we're going to go ahead and work backwards, essentially. You're going to go ahead and divide it by 52 weeks in a year. And that's going to give me $415. I'm going to round to the nearest penny, 38 cents. And then we're going to go ahead and divide this, right, 415 by the number of hours in a week, right? Because you want an hourly rate. So that's going to be a whopping $10.38. So that's how much she's getting paid per hour. So that's that.
Well, Thursday's off.